How are you?
Hello. It's so great to be here. Welcome to Vermont. Morning
Uh,
your time, right?
I'm great, and I'm so excited that you will be one of the speakers at our Biohacking Congress in Silicon Valley very soon on November 20th. Before we start this interview with you, I would like to explain to our followers that it will be on-site event in Silicon Valley with live stream for our big global community, and we expect up to 15 great speakers, biohackers, experts on health optimization, longevity, and there also will be presented up to 15 top biohacks, as we say, as we call it. By this, we mean selected health companies and innovation health tech technologies. So our attendees, a very small group, will be able to test some products, some health products. And for those who cannot join us at the location, it is still opportunity to watch live stream. So hurry up, get your spot. You can get access to live stream with 50% discount by promo code Biohacker, and you can find the link under this video. Today, I'm happy to introduce one of our speakers, Gordon 𝗬𝗍, is the co-founder, inventor, and creative visionary for ALINE Systems Inc, the world's most advanced food activation system. Hi, Gordon.
Hello. So nice to be with you here, Julia. I'm looking forward to our big event coming up next month, the 20th, right?
Yeah, November 20th, all-day event with more than 15 great speakers. Yeah, join us or watch live stream all day. So Gordon, please tell us more about this system, and also I will ask you about your lecture at our Biohacking Congress.
Absolutely. So ALINE, we are a biohack, and what's more fun than talking about footwear and how you can actually hack your footwear? And you can. What we're really all about is understanding that we all evolved for what, a gazillion years on dirt, grass, cobblestone, and now today the reality is the world's not natural. We live in a concrete jungle. It's hard, it's unforgiving, it's man-made, and it is completely not natural. So just in a short blink of humanity, what, a couple of 100 years, we made concrete sidewalks, asphalt, we have hardwood floors, tile, and evolution didn't have time to catch up to that. So what did? We put a bunch of cushioning under our feet, a bunch of shoes, squishy stuff, because it feels good, because hard floors are kind of hard. Or we have a big thing, my number one question is, what do you think about barefoot? Love barefoot, huge fan. Go out barefoot, ground, stand in the dirt, the grass, go connect with nature. But the reality is, barefoot, even if you have a minimal shoe on with a little bit of rubber, very thin, or zero drops, or all these techie things that people talk about in footwear, it's not really barefoot on a hard floor. So you think about a foot, feet have over 100 moving, let me say moving bones and joints. And when you transition in motion on hard, unnatural terrain, like hard floors, tile, wood, if you walk around barefoot in the house, or if you have a couple of cute little sandals with the squishy foam underneath it, all that disables foot function, all of it. Your barefoot hitting a hard man-made surface disables foot function. Your foot interfacing with a pile of squishy stuff disables foot functions. Why? It's like Goldilocks, right? Too soft, probably not too good. Too hard, not too good. What's just right? 3 decades, I'm giving up my age here, 3 decades of hard work and research with some of the most extreme motion sports in the world, with the X Games and the NFL, the PGA is our precision surgery of sports, and working with helping understand what functions in feet need to transition in a timing and sequence mechanism, i.e. barefoot transitions through unnatural man-made footwear and unnatural man-made terrain, okay? So ALINE did evolve from the hard way and we used extreme athletes. And why does extreme athletes help grandmom walk a dog? Simple, performance is the link to health. Anything performing better lasts longer, okay? So we evolved from understanding the motions needed, hip rotation, variable terrains, athletes going 30 feet out of a half pipe and landing backwards. What type of support and mobility did they need during those times? So ALINE has over 100 dynamic support and suspension structures that interface barefoot transitions in a timing sequence mechanism by understanding what the variables are. So you have variable terrain, variable motions, variable range of motions of bodies, and you have leg curvatures that are asymmetrical. So there's so many variables. A-lines are beautiful, they're incredible, but it's part of a 3-part recipe for your biohack, okay? To understand what's your 3-part recipe for a biohack? Well, you're gonna wear shoes, and what that footwear wardrobe is and how that can complement your foot function so that you have good leg function. That's what we're going to talk about at your meeting. And I'm really looking forward to really explaining something we all use, how to navigate footwear all the way to high heels. So we have some hacks, great hacks to understand, what do I do to wear my high heel? That's what I like to do. Or what do I do for my football cleat? Or I play tennis, or I like to just walk the dog, or I'm trying to get rid of this pain, or I want to perform better and win the podium and stand on the podium with the gold medal. Whatever your desire or passion is, we're helping people really understand how to navigate the concrete jungle that we're going to live in. It's not going anywhere. Last time I looked, I don't think it's going anywhere.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so as far as I understand, your product is recommended for almost everyone because the alignment drops the performance and active health of almost everyone. Yeah, and you will explain in your lectures how to combat this epidemic. Yeah.
Well, very well said. We went across this nation a decade and a half ago, kind of like Ben and Jerry's, the two hippies. I live in Vermont, hence the flannel here. I can't wait to come out to San Francisco because it's gonna be nice and beautiful and warm. It's almost snowing out right now. So we're getting our skis waxed up. But yes, let's think about this biohack and what we're gonna do about that. Understanding the unnatural. A-lines are unbelievable, but it's still a 3-part recipe. And what I mean by that, you're gonna still wear footwear, all right? So how do you wear your shoes? What do you wear inside the house? Do you run around barefoot? Probably not a good idea because that disrupts barefoot transition functions that are vital for good alignment and leg mobility. Do you wear squishy little shoes, lazy shoes? Yeah, could be good, could be bad. What do you wear outside? What do you wear today? What's your footwear wardrobe look like? You're a professional football player. First thing I do is find out, what do you wear at the house? What are you doing? You know, I wear socks or I wear a pair of sandals. Probably really not a good idea. And I'll help everybody understand this really cool explanation on how to prepare for whatever your passion is. And really, when we get into aging and anti-aging, shearing is the big enemy. So if you think of a foot hitting a pile of marshmallows, the foot's going to shear. It's going to smear. Smearing is shearing. Shearing equals leg rotation. Leg rotation pulls on the joints and the connective tissues all around your body, and it just ages you. It's kind of like a car out of alignment. A car it's shaking or versus a nice new car with nice control. If that car didn't have any shearing, the joints and everything and the shocks and everything would last forever. So it's really understanding, hey, what can we do? Because we're going to live in the unnatural. It's given. Unless you're going to go out and move into the woods and go run around barefoot, which is great, but understand we're not going to. We're going to wear shoes. So you'll see some fun videos. We just got done with Dave Asprey's Bulletproof Conference and talking about, you know, he's hacked his A-lines and put them in his 5-finger shoes. He wears adult shoes, you know, with A-lines. So it's A-lines are just about for everybody. And when I said we went across this nation to really find out, hey, what's really going on? We took simple lasers and we put them on over 100,000 legs across the nation, back and forth, from grandmoms walking dogs to top NFL Super Bowl winning athletes to find out where these variables are. A high 90% of people were in trouble, meaning that the foot biomechanically was not aligning well with the leg, not even static or motion. And wow, that was a big number. And about 70% were asymmetrical. This is just with a simple laser line and having PhDs to doctors to people working and looking and going, wow, this is a real quick visual on, wow, what's going on?
As far as I understand, it is fantastic and easy to use product for almost everyone, And what is the price of this product?
Yeah, so A-lines are around $100. Roads are free. A-lines go into your shoes. We do offer, don't tell anybody, but there's a discount code on your link. So,
We have
a
discount
discount.
for our community, Biohacker20. So please, our followers, you can get this fantastic product with 20% discount by promo code Biohacker20. So
Now with
be healthy.
Yes. With A-line, it's just about for everybody. If you unfortunately were stepped on by an elephant, you have 30 pins in your feet, your foot's not functional, that's a different world. Okay. Most people, if you're pretty active, you can go out and walk the dog for a mile, or you're pretty ambulatory, most likely your feet are fine. Most people have hyper flexible flat feet. They say, oh, my feet are flat and wide. Yeah, most people are, because maybe 10, 20, 30 years, you put the camcorder on and say, what was I wearing over the last decades of my life? And most likely from fashion to performance footwear to cushioning footwear to lazy footwear, we all know what those are, when you don't have to bend over to lace your shoes. It's hard to find a kid today even lacing their shoes. And it's causing a big problem, because when you pull the foot apart like taffy, it gets weak, longer, wider, flatter. And shoes pull the foot apart like taffy because you want to cushion the blow, because the floors are hard. And so what do we do? A-line, when you get your A-lines, you're going to feel taller and more powerful. That's what everybody tells me right away. Wow, I feel taller and more powerful, but you're going to feel it. It's like going to a gym. You haven't used your stuff in a long time. You go to a gym and you start busting out a weight lift scenario, you're going to feel it, because you're going to wake up muscles and things you haven't used in a long time, which is fun. Then you put that in your footwear wardrobe. Most people get 1, 2 pair of A-lines right out of the gate. They set up a pair of house shoes and they set up their everyday run around shoe. When you go to align.com, you'll see we offer a couple of different varieties. They all share the same exact biomechanical function features. People are like, what do you mean? Feet don't have one shape. Yeah, you're right. They don't have one shape. What do you mean? I got high arches, low arches, all this. How do you not mold that? Well, because feet don't have one shape. Go stand on a hill and look down. Your downhill foot will come in, your uphill foot will go out to have alignment on a hill. So if you mold a foot here, you just created a malalignment issue up high. So people need to understand, well, that's a biohack, because guess what? The last time I checked, the world's not really flat, except inside your house. So you understand that variable terrain, also variable motion. Just stand flat on your flat floor and look down, barefoot. Rotate your hips. One foot will go in, one will go out to rotate your hips. So understanding that feet don't have one shape, we built A-lines with over 100 dynamic supports and suspension structures that allow the foot, for narrow feet, the parameter, it's kind of like a scuba dive mask. We know where the nose is. Everybody's got the same moving bones and stuff, right? So we know that everybody's got the same moving bones and where they are roughly, and roughly by size. So we can put the suspension structures and support that motion, which is barefoot function through unnatural footwear and unnatural terrain.
Gordon, you are talking so great about your product. I'm curious, how your personal story is interacted with your company's story? How you started to work with ALINE, and how long you have been working with ALINE?
Well, I'm one of the founders, and I'm kind of the wacky fun inventor guy. I was an asthmatic kid as a youth. I couldn't really walk. I was like such bad asthma. I sat on the sidelines of active life. I used to watch all the kids on the field, in the soccer field. You could see who could run fast and jump high versus run slow and jump low. And there were all these, the run slow, jump low kids always had these weird flippy floppy feet. And I didn't know what I was looking at when I was a 10-year-old. And then I would go to these wild, big, I have a brother that was in the limelight scene in New York. So I would be at these crazy parties with forests of high heels, and you'd see these legs, a forest of legs. As a kid, you're just like, watching motion, and most were kind of like clunky and awkward. Very few were graceful and elegant. Had no idea that would be one of my passions, is to discover why high heels are clunky and awkward versus graceful and elegant, and why that kid could run fast and jump high versus the other kid ran slow and jumped low. Asthma broke, and around age 13, 14, I just was out of the cage and became this wild athlete, jumping off 100-foot cliffs on skis and pushing the envelope. I was unstoppable. But when we were paving that way back then, we were trying to find out means and ways to stick 100-foot cliff jumps on skis. And when you're a 200-pound guy landing a 100-foot cliff jump, doing a 70-mile-an-hour GS turn and looking at a rock wall, if your foot smears or shears inside your ski boot, you most likely don't live, right? You cartwheel into a rock wall, you get these big scars and broken jaws, and it's not fun. So you either stop doing it or figure out biomechanical ways to hack your footwear, which we were doing several decades ago in rigid athletic footwear sports. And that taught me the biohack breakthrough of variable terrains, variable motions, and what we had to understand in footwear to train and condition for these sports, and not to brace off motion, support motion, but don't walk it off. That's the ALINE kind of story, and really.
So it supports all kinds of motion. So I mean, whatever you do, just walking very slowly, or running very fast, or climbing on mountains, or whatever you do. So it just supports your movement and work for your comfort and better mental health as well. Yeah, because it all works together.
Your day kind of starts with your feet, right? You know, you get out of bed, you go get your coffee or your tea or however you celebrate your day. And the foot impacting a hard floor is getting disrupted. Your feet are kind of like a player piano. There's all these little bone tuberosities that want to go in certain places at certain times. And when they can't, you still move because the leg's going to win. You're going to still fumble along, but that disruption creates compensation that over decades, not so favorable. So foot functionality is going to be amplified if you hack your footwear by allowing your foot to transition. A-lines are great. I could put fairy dust on your A-lines and wish you the best luck in the world. But if your range of motion in your leg, which most of you have, are unfavorable, meaning you might have a tightness in your hip or your calf or your adductors, all these things in your legs. Your legs are like a guitar. You play your guitar hard, they get out of tune. So it doesn't take long to tune your guitar, and there's a lot of people out there who are such awesome helpers in helping people tune their guitars. It's kind of like your sports chiropractic, your physical therapist. We're going to have hopefully a speaker with 𝗚cie𝗿𝗄𝗆 coming on, which would be a nice treat. There's all these arts of helping people understand that, hey, you know, maybe I got to work on this range of motion. Everybody sees runners doing those little stretches and whatnot. If your leg is tight, your leg is like a lever arm. Levers will move boulders, and your foot will always lose. So if you're one of those people and you know who you are, wired pretty tight with those super tight calves, and you get your A-lines going, it's going to take you 3, 4, 5 days to harmonize your range of motion with your leg, so that your hill climbs and your stairs and everything else comes back a little more favorable. Some people are just going to be tight, and it is what it is. I've got people that summited Mount Everest multiple times, and they are so limited in their range of motion in their legs, so they compensate mentally. They understand how to navigate really steep stuff with a little bit more sidestepping. Not a big deal.
Yeah, nice, nice. So, dear friends of our followers, please join us on November 20th, discovering the best biohacks, top biohacks, such as ALINE and up to 15 great products and health companies, as well as learn from first hands from very experienced biohackers and experts on longevity. And if you would like to build your personal health foundation, it is exactly for you. So it is our long, all day long, inspiring and educational event with such life-changing topics as Gordon's topic and as topics of our other speakers. So what can I say? If you consider your health as your wealth, I'm sure that almost of you already understand that it is very important to be healthy and to promote health lifespan. So yeah, please, we put in the effort to structure all knowledge in such way when more people can accept it, and just join us, listen to these life-changing topics, and you can get access to live stream with 50% discount by promo code 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, and you can find the link under this video. Looking forward to meeting you. Gordon, thanks for joining us one more time. Thanks for being our partner and speaker. We are excited by ALINE products, and yeah, thank you very much. Looking forward to meeting you.
We're gonna have so much fun. I can't wait. Bring the sun. No
There
forest fires,
will be a
please.
lot of great people. Do you know, we invite all our guests personally. So, I mean, there will be founders of great health companies and investors from health tech and biotech areas and inventors from health tech and biotech areas. As you, yeah, inventors is very great people who just change our life by these innovation technologies. So I'm always happy to meet one more great innovator in this area.
We will be there. I can't wait. Looking forward to it. As long as it's not a huge
Looking forward to
snowstorm.
meeting you. Looking forward, yeah.